Recently, I saw a video of a guy trying to sell me a course on how to organize my assets in such a way that I pay the least amount of taxes. And I found it interesting, so I kept on watching. And at some point, he was telling me how much of an average person's money goes to the tax office. And basically, that on income, like on a nice looking income, the tax office gets about 50%. And he was telling me that in such a way as if that's normal. And all I could think is, why are we playing this weird game where everything is stacked against us? Like, why are we so much trapped in this system, this monetary system that obviously is doomed to fail, and taxes keep going up? Like, how are we okay with working all day, every day, missing out on time with family, missing time in nature, just sitting in an office most of the time, sitting behind a computer, earning so much money, struggling, inflation goes up, all these things, and then the tax office still gets 50%. Sure, maybe 30 if you earn less, but then you're earning less. Like, how is it okay for an entity to take so much money, and most of that money you don't really see back? Yeah, maybe you see it back in mandates, in wearing weird muzzles around your mouth or stuff like that. That's what we are paying for. And everyone seems to be okay with it. And it's very interesting because everyone thinks that the monetary system that is here now will be there forever. But in fact, monetary systems only survive for like 50 years on average-ish. But everyone keeps on forgetting that. Everyone keeps on thinking, oh yeah, it's all good. No one really remembers that the dollar was used to be backed by gold, and now it's backed by nothing, and it just keeps on being printed. When I was, I don't know, 10 or something, I asked my parents, why don't government just print money? Because then they can buy more stuff, right? And my parents, they said, well, it's kind of a dumb idea because then the money is becoming worthless. And look at where we are now. Everyone is printing money. And it's obvious that the money is going to be worthless. And yet so many people are still in this trap of trying to get as much as possible for it. They're trying to work against the current. As if you're trying to swim up a river. It's going to take a lot of effort. But maybe you can also just walk alongside the river upwards, and then whenever you want to go down again, you just enter the river and float down. Maybe that's a better way, huh? Well, yes, but also it's so engraved in people's minds that the euro or the dollar, that's the measurement of wealth, that it's really hard to get out of people. But if you're going to measure your wealth in those numbers, then you're going to be playing the numbers game of the government. And it's very obvious that the game is rigged against you. It's very obvious that the harder you work, the harder you have to work. And the more you want, the harder you have to work. And every time you get taxed more and more and more and more. I don't know the exact number, but I guess that once you've bought your things and you also pay taxes on those things, then you end up paying like 70 to 80% of all your money to a government that doesn't really do anything for you. How crazy is that? And sure, you can optimize things and you can play the game, but what are you doing then? You're just constantly putting your mind's energy in this system that is corrupt, in this system that steals your energy, in this system that is created to fail and to get certain people up and most people down. It's insane. And I also get caught up sometimes in this numbers game. And then every time I try really hard, every time I'm very motivated to do things, and every time I'm like, yeah, we can set this up, we can set this business up, we can do this and this and this. And then comes the moment where I think, oh wait, but there's the tax office. There's the people that want my money. And then all of a sudden all my motivation is gone, because it's basically you're just trying to thrive, but there's this giant parasite on you. And the only way I can see how to move forward properly or with a healthy state of mind, I guess, is to disregard the entire system. And sure, that's hard. Everyone is still evaluating everything in the fake money supply, but slowly you can see people that are trying to use something else. There are people that accept crypto. There are also people that accept like a bartering system, or it's kind of time, I think, to get a bit more creative. And sure, if you want to buy a house or whatever, it's still okay, of course, to have like a minimal kind of thing going with the government, but to really put your entire life into trying to get those numbers, I think that's a really outdated way of doing things, because nowadays it's so obvious that it's rigged against you, that you're gonna lose, or so either you're gonna lose in the numbers game or you're gonna lose in your mind's game. You're just going to run around in this infinite circle of damnation. I guess. I mean, how is it okay that if someone dies and the money goes to someone else, like inheritance, how is it okay that that is being taxed? Like, that money has already been taxed like crazy, and then all of a sudden inheritance tax is, depending of course where you live, but I've seen it be as high as 60%. Like 60% goes to the government. Really? Like, really? Like, where does it go? Like, where does that money go? Does it go to you? Does it go to good roads, like everyone says? Well, maybe a tiny portion, but most of it goes to corrupt officials and goes to dumb mandates that everyone has to listen to, or it goes to court cases that don't go anywhere. It goes to a system that is completely broken because people don't have morals anymore. Everyone's just chasing numbers and trying to survive, and everyone's just so caught up in this dumb game of getting more luxury. Like, everyone's destroying nature to get to be in a box, to drive to a different box, and everyone is just trying to be happy, but really most people are miserable. Go ask people. Most people are just turned off. They don't even, emotions aren't even there, or maybe they're there, but it's very hard to get there. They always play a role, but most people don't even recognize them. That's basically, like, most people are so busy with the numbers game that they forget to check in with themselves. What I'm trying to say is, maybe there's a way of looking at it differently. Maybe there's a way that, sure, money can still be part of it, but maybe it's better to have that as a secondary focus. Maybe your happiness is a bit more important. Maybe your peace of mind, maybe being outside enough is important. And I'm also talking to myself, just like with every video. It's for all of us. We just need to rethink these things, because clearly the whole thing of working in this governmental system is definitely not working. Unless you're really working hard, but I haven't met a lot of people that are actually happy doing that. Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways. I just want people to start thinking about it. It doesn't have to be a new monetary system. It can also be an exchange system where everyone is just helping each other. How cool would that be, huh? If everyone's just doing what they love and they're helping each other. That would be nice, huh? All right. I'll see you in the next video.